Thanks and welcome everybody to the Staples Center as the Lakers have jumped out to a 6-point lead with just under 6.5 remaining in the first. This is game 3 of this series and it's tied at 1 game apiece. Our starting lineups delivered by AT&T. And of course, Tim Thomas starting now with Diaw and Shawn Marion up front. Luke Walton now in the starting lineup for the Lakers, along with Kwame Brown, of course, Butch Parker with Odom and Bryant. And early on, Bill, it's been a physical game. We've already seen a flagrant foul call against Luke Walton as Lamar Odom comes up short. But the Suns still can't get the running game going, and that was their big problem in game 2.
Explosive atmosphere here at Staples. First time back after a year's absence in the NBA playoffs. The crowd is lathered up. The players are fired up. The Lakers playing sharp. The flagrant foul on Luke Walton, totally uncalled for.
Turnover. Nash with a bad pass. Here's Bryant. Knocked away by Barbosa. No foul, although Kobe Bryant thought there may have been one. So the Lakers will take it out of bounds.
But this is a totally new look Laker team. Early on, the flagrant foul by Luke Walton. Boris Diaw got a technical in the same altercation. The foul was committed against Tim Thomas, and a timeout forced to be called. The Lakers having trouble inbounding the ball.
So Odom calls the timeout. It's a 20-second timeout. One called on young Walton. Odom trying to spin, lost it.
Over dribbling.
Nice pass inside. Walton, tough shot. Kwame Brown. He's been active once again.
The quickness. Nobody's been able to keep him off the board, and we're continually impressed by the phenomenally rapid development of Kwame Brown in all aspects.
He still has a long ways to go, but he's been very solid as Tim Thomas knocks down his second 3. Tim Thomas had the huge game 1 at 22 points, 15 rebounds, hit 4 3-pointers. Not as much in game 2, but he's 9 of 15 from downtown so far in the series.
Phil Jackson before the game telling us that this is a must-win game for the Lakers.
You surprised that he phrased it that way?
Not at all. Lakers are in control. They have to learn and show that they can play as the favorite.
Alley-oop, and Marion can't complete it. He's a key member for the Phoenix Suns. They need a big game from Shawn Marion.
Bill said you can't come in and just give one away after you get one on the road.
Excellent help defense from Marion that time. Barbosa for 3. Barbosa did not hit a shot in game 2. He was scoreless. And another key player that has to help out Steve Nash.
There's a lot of
Barbosa with a foul.
A lot of role players for Phoenix who are in their first big-time experience at the highest levels of basketball. And how will they perform? Barbosa, Boris Diaw.
Diaw, it's his first playoff game. Raja Bell has played in playoffs before,
but not in the role that he is right now.
Correct.
Head-to-head against Kobe Bryant. Say, look, stop this guy and we win.
Bryant, nice feed inside. And despite that flagrant foul, Luke Walton again doing some good things. He's got 6 points.
But Kobe Bryant has changed the entire outlook of this team. People feel like they're involved now.
Tim Thomas again left open. And Tim Thomas reminiscent of game 1 in his start.
This is Phoenix Sun basketball. Penetration and dish. Lakers not doing a good job of containment off the dribble and then staying at home with deadly perimeter shooters.
Thomas already with 11 points. Walton. They didn't wave it off. That may have been touched above the cylinder.
But time and time again, Kwame Brown and Lamar Odom just having their way above station. Oh,
beautiful pick and roll. And that's the Shawn Marion that they need.
Shawn has been badly outplayed by Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom towering over the very short for the amount of inside play that Shawn Marion usually delivers. Luke Walton continues to struggle on relatively easy shots in the paint.
He's 4 of 7 from the field, trying to take advantage of Barbosa guarding him. That time did a good job contesting Nash. What we'll do is you'll criticize your son and I'll praise him. Bryant has it deflected.
Watch Kwame Brown, the way he moves for rebounds. And this is night and day from where he has been.
Walton back to Bryant. Wide open 3. And Nash comes up with it.
Transition defense, a must for the Lakers.
Barbosa, not a smart shot, even with Bryant on him there. 5-on-4 the other way as Barbosa slow getting down the floor. Nearly a turnover, but Odom holds on. Nice pass inside to Parker. Pretty play from Lamar Odom. And the Lakers again, Bill, much like game 2, right now they're the more aggressive team.
They know now if they move, they're going to get the ball. Something that was not the case in the regular season for Los Angeles.
Nash kicks it out. Here's the extra pass with 1 on the shot clock. Tim Thomas on fire.
Thomas had 22 and 15 in game 1 on 8 for 10 shooting. Cooled off considerably down to 4 for 12 for 11 points and 9 rebounds in game 2.
He's got 4 3-pointers already here in the opening period. Odom lost it. Barbosa running. 3-on-1 break for the Suns. And a reach-in foul call on Kobe Bryant. And we'll take a timeout with just over a minute and a half remaining here in the first quarter. Smush Parker first with the hustle play, and then the smart off-the-ball movement. Meanwhile, for the Suns, they're trying to get on track. Tim Thomas keeping them in it. It's a 3-point game here in the first.
Well, from what we've seen so far, the Suns are running, but Mike, so are the Lakers.
They certainly are, Lisa. Marion and Odom, teammates on the United States Olympic team back in Athens. And 2 very unique type players as Marion hits the first free throw, and you see his numbers. Again, some decent numbers, but certainly not at the level he played in during the regular season where he was just superb.
Because the Lakers have taken the style that we have come to associate with Phoenix Sun basketball away from them. And the series against the Suns, the Lakers shooting 58.5% in the first quarter. Tonight they're at 52%, but that quick start has enabled Los Angeles to be in control basically throughout.
Kobe Bryant 1 for 4 to start. Barbosa will set it up. Steve Nash getting his usual rest at the end of the first quarter. Marion looking to post up Bryant. Does not get the bounce. Battle around. Marion trying to come down with it. Odom and Marion fighting.
A lot of dribbling by Sean Marion without going anywhere. Going to be in that situation, turning face, use your quickness and go by somebody.
How about Odom, Bill? 7 rebounds here in the opening period. He's averaging 10.5 in the series. Again, Marion guarding him. Devin George just in. Too strong. Odom another board. Powers in and gets the roll. He has just been superb so far in the first 2+.
A full 6'10", taking complete advantage of all the physical talents that he has.
Bryant with the steal.
Raja Bell cannot stand back there and look at the referee and say, hey, come on, call a foul. This is transition basketball.
The Suns have a foul to give. There's a 2-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Cook launches a 3.
And that's the difference in this Laker team right now. Kobe is a playmaker, a facilitator, an enabler, and a tough call against the Lakers as the crowd erupts in dismay.
So, Lakers commit not a smart foul that puts them in the penalty. Meanwhile, surprise Phoenix did not commit that foul. They had a foul to give down the other end. And more free throws for Phoenix. They have been just terrific from the free throw line so far in this series. 54 for 57. They're the #1 percentage free throw shooting team during the regular season. They don't get to the line all that much, but they've been going there here in this postseason so far.
And we're in record-setting territory early on with the Dallas Mavericks being the current record holder.
You saw those numbers. That was before tonight, and they're 5 for 5.
Phil Jackson, one of the great coaching jobs in the history of the NBA with this team in a short turnaround.
Here we go with the history. You could have just said a great coaching job. That's where you get yourself in trouble, you know. Final seconds. Bryant knocked away by Bell. Oh, and Kobe Bryant furious. He thought he was fouled. From our vantage point, it looked like a good, clean defensive play. But Bryant feels otherwise.
Up against the clock, Raja Bell, great defense. The hands in low. That's great defense.
With the Lakers Lakers again a strong start, especially on the offensive end, as they put up 31 points, get some good balance. However, Tim Thomas, Kwame Brown again very active in the early going. What a turnaround for him early in the season. Started to become a disaster. They were really questioning the trade and getting him from the Washington Wizards. One of the key players they gave up was Caron Butler. He was struggling. But when Chris Mim went down with an injury, the final 18 games of the season, he just started to play with the aggressiveness and the athleticism that they hoped for.
And that's why I made the statement about Phil Jackson's coaching job, which you just absolutely mocked. You know, Phil Jackson is so good. Look what he's done with Kwame Brown, when everybody else has been an absolute failure with.
Brown has been a disappointment, but is now starting to play, and Kwame Brown credits a lot to Phil Jackson.
Long-term, positive, constructive, upbeat nature of supervision. Careless ball handling. Boris Diaw continues his difficulties.
Again, the shot clock winding down. How many times have we seen that in this series? Bad foul as Diaw got bailed out with the shot clock at 2. And Kobe Bryant picks up the foul.
A lot of hacking, a lot of reaching, a lot of whining to the refs. Time to get running and play some basketball.
So Diaw, you see his numbers. This is his first playoff action after his first 2 years, of course, in Atlanta. Reminder of the NBA calendar. Saturday on TNT, it's the Nets and the Pacers game 4, followed by Dallas at Memphis game 3. And then Sunday on ABC, the Heat and the Bulls, followed by this series game 4 in LA. And then Monday on NBA TV, it's the Pistons and the Bucks from Milwaukee in game 4.
I'm Boris Diaw's biggest fan, but those numbers, they belie the lack of impact. Sasha, nice penetration and dish.
Good ball movement. Cook can't hit. And Eddie House, who just checked in, Mr. Instant Offense for the Suns.
Another one of those players who just hasn't been able to get it going. Nice defense by Sasha.
Raja Bell, he got it going in game 2. Not that time, but Tim Thomas knocks it out of his hands and keeps it alive. Thomas will try it again. And this time, an air ball, and it's going to be Laker basketball.
Lakers are winning the 2 most important statistical components of playoff basketball: field goal percentage and rebounding. And they continue to shoot over 50%, holding the Suns into the low 40s. They continue to have a significant edge on the boards and thus control.
Phil Jackson said after game 2, I thought defensively it was our night. That's been a big part of their turnaround. Cook trying to create. Devin George tips it, but James Jones just in gets the rebound. Here's Diaw running the floor. Oh, nice play. And that's one of those, they score in about 3 seconds down the floor.
The extension and the grace. And while Boris Diaw is certainly capable of that, his greatest contribution is his playmaking and getting Sean Marion untracked.
Walton too strong. Barbosa pushing. Kicks it out. Jones stripped and stolen by George. Vujicic knocked away. Good defense from Eddie House.
Kobe was coming for a vehement throwdown. They couldn't get it to him.
Bell for 3. And the Lakers by 1. If you weren't looking at the scoreboard, though, Bill, you'd think the Lakers were up by a lot more.
But right now, the Lakers, since they took Kwame Brown and Lamar Odom out, they've lost control of the boards.
Devin George an open 3. And Cook just pushed James Jones. Silly foul that time as he picks up his first.
It was almost as if Brian Cook said, I am so out of gas right now. I just better foul to get this game stopped. Phil Jackson putting the hands down saying, calm down out there.
It's been a fairly quick pace with 2.5 gone by here in the second.
And the pace that Phoenix has to have. Not a good team in the half court.
Eddie House, short. And Walton good boxing out for the rebound.
Get Kobe going offensively. The guy's lathered up and fired into this game.
Kobe Bryant has as many assists as points. That's 4. And Bell just put his arm on him and picks up the personal. Raja Bell, one of the reasons that they brought him to Phoenix was because of his defense. He's been the starting backcourt with Steve Nash. But Bell has also been a big surprise offensively for them all season.
they had no idea he was this good. But the way Kobe has changed, Kobe is initiating dribble handoffs for guys like Smush Parker and Sasha Vujicic.
Ball blocked from behind. And Cook not only lost the ball, he lost his sneaker. James Jones with the play. Cook running down the floor now, throws the sneaker off the court at midcourt. Jones, and a foul on Cook.
Wide open for a dunk, gets blocked, Roof from behind, and then as Luke Walton delivers, he just loses his shoe.
All part of playoff basketball.
This team, Phoenix, did not finish the season strong. 500 basketball over the last 1/3 of the season. Steve Nash, Sean Marion playing tons of minutes. But I like what Mike D'Antoni did in terms of talking to his players and say, hey, look, we got to relax. We're too uptight out there. I want you guys to shoot more from longer range and don't ever worry about missing the shots. Now that is great coaching.
Well, with all that talk, they now have the lead, their first lead after trailing by 8. His main message to players individually and as a team, and Smush Parker can't hit, is don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to miss shots, but just run.
Phil Jackson quickly coming back with Lamar Odom and Kwame Brown. The question is, did he leave him out too long?
Diaw comes up short. And Walton with another rebound, his third.
But now you've got Kobe Bryant on the bench. Where's the focal point of the attack going to come from to put pressure on the Suns' defense?
Lakers 0 for 6 from the field here in the second quarter. Parker inside! His second strong slam.
What makes it happen, Mike, is that players are moving crisply and sharply without the ball.
Eddie House can't get it to fall.
But in the last year and a half of Laker basketball, if you didn't have the ball, you were not going to get it. So guys would just stand. Right now, people are flashing, and that is forcing the defense to move, and you're opening up all kinds of lanes.
Vujicic, good ball fake, left open, but can't hit. And House tips it to Sean Marion. Here's Diaw. Interesting pass. House knocks down the shot.
That whole play set up because Kwame Brown was arguing with the ref on a rebound position non-call. Unexcusable. Inexcusable, excuse me.
Another key bench player. They only had 4 bench points in game 2. They're one of the best benches in the NBA during the regular season.
With a season low 4 points.
Walton, long.
Shots not there right now for Luke Walton.
Barbosa, nice move. And the Suns now getting out and pushing the ball. They lead by 3.
And Phoenix is doing it without Steve Nash. Phil Jackson has seen enough. He's got to find some way to regain control of his universe.
So Phoenix started off well in the second quarter.
Kick ahead, Leandro Barbosa shut out in the last game, 27 minutes, finally getting on track.
Stars at the Staples Center, including Cindy Crawford. They're all out tonight for the playoff game. Ashton Kutcher, David Arquette, Fordham grad Denzel Washington, Charlize Theron, and of course, with sunglasses on, Jack Nicholson.
The General. The Jack is ready. Kareem, greatest scorer in the history of basketball, 6-time MVP winner. The best player I ever played against. Rick Fox, the 3-time world champion. The Lakers haven't been the same since he left.
Since Fox left or since Jim left?
Magic Johnson. Oh, man. The king, maybe the most successful ex-athlete that we've ever seen.
Bryant backing down Raja Bell. High arcing shot. Look at the rebound and the left-hand follow. It's only his second field goal. He has 4 assists.
Steve Nash, when he was on the bench, the Suns went on a 14-6 run and took control of this game as the Lakers struggling from the field, just 2 for 10 in the second quarter.
Nice pass inside, and Diaw plus the foul on Kwame Brown. And Bill, that was key for the Lakers in game 2. They increased the lead when Kobe Bryant went to the bench when he picked up 3 fouls. Here, Nash goes to the bench for his usual rest, and the Suns increase their lead, or actually take their first lead.
What did Phil Jackson tell us? You gotta keep Steve Nash in front of you. Smush Parker didn't get a job. He didn't get the job done defensively that time, resulting in the 3-point play. I don't like the Lakers' shot balance. You got Luke Walton with 9 attempts and Smush Parker with 8, and Kobe Bryant with only 6.
Leave the Walton kid alone. Hacking foul call on Sean Marion.
If you're looking at this roster here, you want Lamar Odom, Kwame Brown, and Kobe Bryant getting the preponderance of shots.
Of course, Odom had the big rebounding first quarter. Bryant just 2 for 7.
But now the Phoenix Suns have taken the lead in field goal percentage, and they have evened it up on the backboards. Beautiful passing.
Bryant spinning, tough shot. Suns ball. And let's send it over to Lisa.
Steve Nash why he thought that the Suns didn't play Sun-style basketball in games 1 and 2, and he said plain and simple nerves. These guys haven't been here before. Leandro Barbosa, his first playoff experience. Boris Diaw, his first playoff experience. He says when guys feel that pressure, they hesitate. He said, you know what, we've already lost home court advantage. If we continue to play with doubt, we're not going to get it back. So the key for us is to do what we always do, to run the ball. Mike?
All right, Lisa. Barbosa did play some in the postseason, but again, he did not have the big role that he has now, and you could see the pressure he felt as Vujacic knocks down the 3. Phil Jackson is a fan of Sasha Vujacic, the second-year guard out of Slovenia, who played a lot of pro ball in Europe, including Italy. A good hustling player as Nash misses. Marion tips it right to Brown.
Steve Nash, 6th in the NBA in 3-point percentage. Unable to find the mark. When you're dealing with mental fragility, though, it comes back to the coach and the star players who've got to breathe life into your team.
How about Parker, speaking about no playoff experience? These are his first playoff games this series. Talking to him before the game, he said he was surprised. He wasn't nervous at all in game 1. Bad pass from Nash. He had 6 turnovers in game 2. And that's the 7th turnover for Phoenix. And a foul before the shot.
If you're the Lakers, you've got to try to run the ball through Kobe Bryant more often. Phil Jackson questioning what's going on here. Beautiful setup by Kobe, who allows, with his double-team defensive commitment of the opponents, for his teammates to just come alive. Kobe continues to pass the ball and lay it off, inspiring everyone here.
Raja Bell with his 2nd foul. Again, Bryant getting his teammates involved. Odom. Vujacic for 3. Back-to-back threes for Sasha Vujacic.
Built the hot hand. He's got the stroke. The bounce to his step is there. Tim Thomas should have his way with Sasha down low here. Just
Bell with a contested 3. Not a good shot that time.
But why would Tim Thomas give up the ball so easily? Sasha has no chance to guard him.
Well, this crowd has been into it since a couple of minutes before the game. They've been fired up. Kwame Brown doubled. Odom. The long stride. 10 straight points by the Lakers.
Yeah, as soon as they brought Lamar and Kwame Brown back in, things changed immediately.
Nash trying to find an opening.
He's caught in the lane there. The fans wanted 3 seconds.
Nash is scoreless here in the first half. They're going to take Kwame Brown off the dribble. Gets inside, blocked by Brown. Phil Jackson talking to us before the game says one of the keys defensively for his team is Kwame Brown and Lamar Odom. They're big players, have good foot movement. They can handle the guard sometimes. Kwame Brown did that time.
This place is alive.
His teammates, and they're coming through for him.
And the Lakers are feasting right now inside the game. The ball movement. Kwame Brown Kobe Bryant with a dribble handoff for Smush Parker. Who would have ever thought? Setting up Brian Cook from behind the arc. And then Lamar Odom with Sasha Vujacic. Lamar Odom down the lane. Everybody making major contributions. Kobe Bryant, the leadership away from the ball. That's Wendy's inside the game.
And you look at the balance again. They've already had a game in this series where all 5 starters scored in double figures. If it happened again tonight, obviously the second time, it only happened 3 times the entire regular season. But Bryant has a lot more confidence in his teammates. He's sharing the ball better. And the Suns will inbound with 4 on the shot clock.
Give the credit to Phil Jackson. He has made this unit into a real team.
Marion, that's a 3. And Odom with another rebound, number 9 already.
Early on this year, Phil Jackson under some criticism for allowing Kobe Bryant to just take over everything by himself. But the patience, the faith of Phil Jackson, it has paid off beautifully.
Kwame Brown gets good position down low. Rushed the shot, however. Gets the rebound.
Lamar Odom and Kwame Brown just dominant on the offensive glass. The Suns need to do a much better job of taking care of some turf.
They equal their largest lead of the game because of this 12-0 run.
And again, Boris Diaw, no impact on the game whatsoever. This is the NBA's most improved player.
Nash, and that's his first field goal. And it's a 3-pointer. 5 assists for Nash. Of course, Steve Nash reported earlier this week in the Arizona Republic. They say he will win his 2nd straight MVP. The NBA has not made it official. Well, that's the report from the newspaper.
Only the 2nd guard in the history of the NBA to win back-to-back MVPs. The other one here in attendance tonight. If he wins it, Magic is here tonight. Magic won it back-to-back in the 80s.
Meanwhile, a foul call on Tim Thomas, and you see the 2 all-star players for the Phoenix Suns, at least scoring-wise, a slow start. Again, Tim Thomas and his 16 points. And that was key for the Suns staying in it early.
But Kobe has 5 assists. And Steve Nash has 5 assists as well, but you would expect that from Steve, certainly not from Kobe, from the way he's played throughout this entire season.
Bryant inside, back out. Odom lost it, but a foul call. And the Suns in a penalty.
When a guy like Kobe Bryant, who has the ball all the time, when he starts passing the ball to everybody, the sky's the limit. You're dizzy with possibilities out there, Mike.
Well, Lamar Odom was telling us yesterday that he says he has the potential to be a terrific leader. We asked him about the changes here, and he said he's a year older. He's a year more mature. As Odom will go to the free throw line for 2 because they're in the penalty. Reminder coming up at halftime, the Toyota halftime show. Head back to the studio. John Saunders, Greg Anthony, Tim Legler, Stephen A. Smith. As LeBron James with the big win on the road and hit the big shot, plus the NFL draft shocker with the NFL draft coming up tomorrow. All coming up on the Toyota halftime show.
Kobe has a much better balance between the team game and having to assert himself when necessary than he had in game 1.
Raja Bell. Marion rushed the shot again, and Bryant takes the rebound away from Odom, who laughs. The 2 of them going after it so hard.
There's nothing like a group of young men coming together and starting to think and flow as one.
Odom, a long 3-pointer, not a great shot that time. The fans thought it was last touched by the Suns, but it's Phoenix ball.
Smush Parker, who was in position, if he had a case to make an argument, just put his head down and said, let's play some defense and get it back on the other end.
Parker 12th in the NBA during the regular season in steals. Nash.
Great defense. Kwame Brown again.
Nash inside, makes the adjustment but can't finish. And Lamar Odom with his 11th rebound.
Kwame Brown, intimidating defense without fouling.
Bryant. Marion throws it ahead. Good transition defense by the Lakers, but Raja Bell able to knock it down. 5 points for Bell.
Normally, if you watch the Phoenix Suns over the course of the season, they are always in better physical condition than their opponents. Right now, the Lakers seem to be the stronger, fresher, growing team.
About a 4-second, maybe 4.5 difference between shot and game clock. Suns do not have a foul to give. Great pass. Walton for three. Ball tipped. Final seconds. Stolen by Parker. If it counts, it goes. Well, if it goes, it goes. I should say it's Parker. Boy, it was a wild finish here to the second quarter. And Smush Parker's shot falls short, but a terrific half for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Disciplined with their shot selection, but he said overall we're doing what we need to do. We just need to start converting into some points. Mike?
Yeah, they were the #1 shooting team in the NBA during the regular season, but shooting just 38% in the first half here tonight. Tim Thomas, one of the exceptions. Thomas had that 16-point first quarter to keep them in the game when the Lakers came out strong. And Bill, you know, normally the team that loses the previous game comes out with a little more hunger, a little more passion, but the Lakers came out of the gate so strong.
You would anticipate that desperation would be on the side of the Phoenix Suns, but right now it has been all Lakers.
Luke Walton had to put it up with the shot clock winding down.
16 points for Tim Thomas in the first quarter, did not score in the second quarter as the Lakers took control. Only 4 turnovers.
And over in front of the Phoenix bench, you didn't even see it because it happened, but Raja Bell shaken up. And the Suns forced to call a timeout. Let's see what happened on the play. It was obviously after the play went up the floor.
Got poked in the eye by Kobe Bryant.
Those two
inadvertent
have had a physical battle in this series. They've had a couple of physical battles during the regular season. It all goes back to the 2001 NBA Finals when Raja Bell was playing for the 76ers in his first year in the NBA. That's the first time they faced each other. Bell, a good, hard-nosed, physical defender, very feisty player. He's gotten under Bryant's skin a little bit. Bryant has gone back. There's a little animosity between the two, but good competitive animosity.
I have the ultimate respect for Raja Bell. The daunting task that he faces night in and night out, particularly without any backline support, big shot blockers. The Suns facing 2 critical injuries this year to their post players. Raja Bell, along the likes of Bruce Bowen and Ron Artest, tremendous perimeter players, but this is a team defensive game.
And there you see again the balance for the Lakers. Top 5 scorers. Bryant is not there, but he has 5 assists. Count it, and a foul. Sean Marion. Boy, do the Phoenix Suns need him to get going. And he even said yesterday, I have to find a way.
More importantly than Sean hitting plays like this, the slashing, moving type of dynamic attack that has defined his career. Steve Nash, the NBA's most valuable player. He's 1 for 7 in a must-win game for Phoenix.
Yet they're only down by 2. Again, if you're just watching the game, not checking the score, you think the Lakers would have a huge lead. But Tim Thomas did an excellent job keeping them in it early. Parker spinning. Nice methodical move by Parker. Took his time. And Parker, he's the leading scorer for the Lakers with 12. Thomas, not a good shot. Diaw misses the follow. Point-blank range.
Boris Diaw comes out kicking himself, literally. The easiest, the most simple of plays. And this is where Steve Nash really has to breathe some life into his teammates.
And it's not easy to kick yourself as you're running down the floor. As Parker once again takes advantage. Smush Parker, who was supposed to have a backup role with this team. They were hoping to sign an Antonio Daniels or a Derek Anderson, but he's the starter. There's a foul called on Marion. Kwame Brown will pick up his 3rd.
And for the Phoenix Suns, they have to ask themselves, how are we ever going to win if Smush Parker is going to torch Steve Nash? Smush Parker has outscored him, has control of the flow of the game right now, has made the big dynamic explosions to ignite this crowd.
He wasn't drafted out of Fordham back in 2002. He spent some time in Greece, spent some time in the WNBA Development League. Also had a cup of coffee with Cleveland, with Detroit, and even with Phoenix last year. Mitch Kupchak signed him, but again, this was after they were hoping to get an Antonio Daniels or a Derek Anderson. They never expected Parker to be a full-time starter, let alone start every game this season. And Phil Jackson said just physically, he's done an excellent job.
This is a tough league, Mike, to be out there every single day. Requirements physically and emotionally, psychologically extreme. Tough turnover there by Lamar Odom.
Good double team. Marion inside. Odom gets right back and alters that shot.
Team defense, stripped down low, forced a double clutch, come with help from behind.
Bryant inside. And Kobe Bryant, that's just his third field goal, but it gives the Lakers a 7-point lead. Boy, quickly, Marion can't get it to fall, but he tips it back out.
A lot of sun standing around.
Diaw inside. Nice finish.
What extension. What creativity down the lane. Finally a play, and Mike D'Antoni, a sigh of relief.
He wants Diaw to be more aggressive, not to worry about making mistakes, to look to shoot the ball.
Play the same way he played in the regular season, and he'll be just fine.
There's a double team again on Odom. Walton gets inside, and Marion the rebound. Here come the Suns. Marion running the floor as a trailer, and Nash with a pretty assist, his 7th.
Phoenix hanging tantalizingly close. Can they ever get over the proverbial hump? They're trying to post up Smush Parker. That's how much confidence they have in him.
Brown deep. Nice pass inside. Again, the ball movement.
At halftime, Mike, I've been coming to Laker games for 36 years. The fans, they are ecstatic with the way this team is playing. And they're very surprised, too.
A foul call against the Lakers. How about Kwame Brown? That's his 4th assist of the game.
Passing is contagious. Once Kobe starts, you know Lamar's going to always give it up. The flash to the high post, and then with Luke Walton playing that high post swing position well, Kwame Brown able to set up Smush for the easy layup.
Brown with the block. Oh, and then he knocks Diaw down. And that's going to be either a technical or a flagrant foul. Now Nash and Bryant jawing at each other. We've seen a couple of hard fouls in this series. Bryant pointing. Tim Thomas getting in the middle, and he seems to be escalating it a bit. Kwame Brown and Steve Nash now jawing at each other. Bryant with some harsh words for Nash. Nash going right back as well. We saw some of this in game 2 when Nash and Vujicic bumped each other. Bryant started getting in between. We saw the flagrant foul call against Luke Walton in the opening minute of this one. And the officials are going to have to start tightening it up a bit.
Pat Riley said it best last night after James Posey lost his mind in the collision in the Chicago-Miami game. There must be dignity and respect for the game, and we have lost that here.
Let's watch Kwame Brown after the play. Terrific block shot. That's why I don't understand why he did this after losing the ball. He just elbows and throws him down.
That's a foul on Kwame Brown, but just turn away and walk out of the situation.
Tim Donaghy, one of the officials, and it's a veteran crew. Ed Rush in his 19th year. Billy Spooner's 17th, and Donaghy, that's him there in his 12th year, so it's an experienced crew. Bryant saying, oh, okay, let's take a look again.
This is just a foul in playoff basketball. There's nothing wrong there. You stand over the top.
Well, that's uncalled for, throwing him down like that. So what it is, it's a personal foul on Diaw, and then a technical foul called on Kwame Brown.
I'm going to disagree. I don't think Kwame Brown threw him to the ground. I think he just lifted him up, and he's so strong.
Oh, he extended his arm, Bill. Nash will shoot the technical foul. Nash, that's his first miss in the playoffs from the line. He's been 15 for 15. And Nash, you don't normally see him jawing at opponents. He did it in game 2, got involved again here in game 3, showing his feisty side.
This is an unsettled team right now, Phoenix. They're playing as they did last year in the Western Conference Finals, when they really did not come up with a superior performance against the world champion Spurs. You've got to get
And
the
a
ball.
foul call on Raja Bell. Over-aggressive on his post defense on Bryant. That's his third. Now let's go back to game 2. This was the incident that happened in Phoenix. Vujacic walking out, bumps into Nash. Nash pushes him, and Bryant gets right in Nash's face.
Every incident tonight has been uninvolved players walking in and trying to think that it's their game and their confrontation.
Some of it is a player sticking up for his teammate. As Parker misfires. Odom knocked away. Bell trying to push. Nash gets inside. And Steve Nash just his second field goal. But it pulls the Suns again within 3.
Kobe Bryant's been working so hard for the ball in possession in the post. Get him the ball. He is such an easy target. Nice rotation defensively by Boris Diaw.
Not a smart pass that time. A rare turnover for the Lakers. Just their 6th, and Nash banks it in.
Phil Jackson says timeout.
And it's back to a 1-point game.
They had control. But the mental fragility has allowed Phoenix and Steve Nash to come right back down the lane. Everybody thinking he's going to pass. That's why you have to shoot. He comes down that lane. Everything running away from him. Phoenix right back in it.
Back in Los Angeles, Lakers and Suns in game 3 of this best-of-7 series. And it has been a rough one here. Right now the Lakers lead by 1. They've led by as many as 8. And right from the start in the opening minute, we had some rough play, including one of those troublemaking Walton boys.
53 seconds in, an uncalled for flagrant foul led to an escalation by, once again, other players. Luke and Tim Thomas seem to have everything under control, and then everybody else comes in trying to be a tough guy.
That was in the first. Now here in the third, a couple of minutes ago, Kwame Brown throws down Boris Diaw and steps over him like that. Smush Parker doing a good job trying to play peacemaker, but Steve Nash and Kobe Bryant were not playing that role. The officials did a good job of stopping it from escalating.
But these guys are not fighters. Kobe Bryant and Steve Nash are not going to get into any sort of confrontation physically. Please, just play some basketball. 2 technicals, Brown and Diaw. 1 flagrant foul, Luke Walton.
It's been a good, hard-fought series so far. You hope it doesn't get involved in any more of that kind of stuff. Walton, nice move, and a foul. Luke Walton, who had 19 points in game 1. He's got 10 here in game 3.
The flow of the triangle is happening. People understanding what is possible there. The ability to finish inside over a taller defender. Can Walton knock down the free throw?
We shall see. He has had a terrific second half of the season and early in the playoffs, and he knocks the free throw down. He's been able to overcome an overbearing and mentally unstable dad.
I concur.
Who's trying to live vicariously through his son's sports life. Marion kicks it out. High arcing shot from Marion when he gets to bounce.
I can't believe that shot.
Marion, meanwhile, had 6 points in the first half, has 8 here in the third quarter, so he has come alive. Here's the double team on Bryant. Nice feed to Walton. Boy, the Lakers really moving the ball well.
And if they would move the ball that well to get Kobe the ball, imagine how much more effective this triangle offense would be.
Kwame Brown has tied his season high with 5 assists.
And that is great coaching by Phil Jackson.
Nash coming alive offensively. Nash in the first half had just 3 points. He has 6 here in the third. Don't forget tomorrow night, or tomorrow, starting at noon, the NFL draft. Meanwhile, the NBA playoffs, a big night tonight. Already seen Cleveland escape getting by Washington.
That was maybe the poorest possession of the night for Los Angeles.
Nash with a hand in his face, knocks down the 3.
Now Marion is playing well. Steve Nash has come alive.
And the Suns have regained the lead.
How will the Lakers respond to this pressure? The crowd has been pushed back in their seats.
Bill, Nash, and Marion, 17 points combined here in the third period alone.
If you're the Lakers, stick with what got you here. Beautiful passing.
And a foul. The extra pass inside for the Lakers has given them some great shot opportunities.
And while Phil sits stoically there, the pride that he must have for the way this team has come together. The ball movement, how many guys? I mean, 5 guys handled it on that possession. That is Phoenix Sun basketball. Lamar Odom just ecstatic.
How about Odom? 8 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists. He is just playing superb basketball in this playoff series.
We've seen him grow so much coming here.
And a chance of Kwame. They have come a long way. He was not hearing chants of Kwame earlier this season. Shot clock down to 6. Tim Thomas looks up. Tough shot. And Thomas, his first point since that opening quarter when he had 16.
But it's happening now for Phoenix, and it's the Lakers who are having to take the ball out of the net. The Lakers who are having to dig some set offensive opportunities out of their hat.
Kwame Brown can't get it to fall. But look at the hustle from Brown. Drives inside. Knocked away by Raja Bell. Oh, and Bell just threw an elbow at Kwame Brown as they ran up the floor. And Nash upset with that shot, misfires.
Stability here. Milk Kobe Bryant. He's your franchise.
And a foul on the entry pass. This is what you're going to see now. They're going to start calling it very tightly as Marion picks up the foul. And that's his third.
And that's the player's fault. Because everybody wants to see a free-flowing game. But when every time you have a little bit of contact.
Now watch Raja Bell. Watch him coming up. Now watch. There, he throws it back, a little bit of an elbow and an arm.
When you run it back, though, you see that he gets tied up. And the Laker player is holding Raja Bell to keep him from getting out up the court. And he's trying to break his arms free. And that contact, a second look, will tell us how intentional that was.
But Bell's fortunate, because how often do you see only 2 missed free throws from Odom? How often do you see that second part of the play is the one called? Bell has 3 fouls. They can ill afford to lose him. Bell. And Kobe Bryant the rebound. Bryant just 8 points, but he has 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and he has his teammates heavily involved again. Nice pass to Odom, and he's fouled.
But notice how when Kobe's now with the ball attacking everybody, Kwame, Lamar, they have their hands up. They think that ball's coming. 2 weeks ago, there was no way that pass was even going to be attempted. What has come over Kobe Bryant? This is the player that everybody hoped he would be.
Meanwhile, Marion, you see that's his 4th foul. As Odom, the recipient, he'll go to the free throw line. And Lamar Odom, this is his 2nd year in L.A., one of the players acquired in the Shaquille O'Neal deal. A player who started his career here in L.A., but with the Clippers his first 4 years, then had one very good year in Miami where he rebuilt his reputation. When he was in L.A. the first time he had his problems, twice suspended for violating the league substance abuse program because of marijuana. But it turned it around in Miami, had a very good year. Then was a bit shocked with the trade, understood. And last year finished off, he was injured, didn't have the kind of year he was hoping. This year he has really turned it around and just has gotten better month after month and playing his best basketball perhaps of his career right now.
Without question. And the leadership, Phil Jackson was commenting on that, his preparation, creating his own good look where preparation meets an opportunity.
Boris Diaw, short. Again, the Suns shooting just 42% from the field.
Lamar is tired and fatigued. He's walking up. Kobe saying, come on, clapping his hand. Give me the ball. I can attack.
Bryant finding the open man. The extra pass again. And Luke Walton can't get it to fall. Here's Barbosa. Bryant blocked and a foul. Bryant very upset. Barbosa went down hard, but quickly bounces back up.
It was the right call. Tons of contact before an amazing block. Over the top with the outlet pass. Barbosa, a good finisher.
So Kobe Bryant picks up his second foul.
That's
Upset
a great
with the call. So a timeout call as we send it to John Saunders in the studio.
Right now, the offense is clicking for the Suns as D'Antoni and Steve Nash share a light moment in a game that has been dominated by tenacious competitive greatness.
Here's Kobe Bryant wearing number 8. Story that came out earlier this week was that Bryant's going to switch to number 24 next year. He wore number 24 early in his high school career at Lower Merion High School in Pennsylvania, outside of Philadelphia. He actually wore number 33 his senior year of high school, but obviously he can't wear 33 here in Los Angeles.
That was Kareem's number, who's here in attendance tonight as an assistant coach.
But he was actually not happy. He didn't want the news to come out. Player has they have a rule in the NBA: if a player changes his number, can't change again for number 3 years. Jim Jackson currently has number 24, but I think he'll give that up if he's here next year. So number 8 might change. Entry pass draws the foul. Boris Diaw the personal, and they're in the penalty.
The Lakers have taken Boris Diaw out of this series. And while Marion, Tim Thomas, and Steve Nash have had good moments here in the second half, Boris Diaw is the guy that's got to come alive. There's been no passing. There's been none of the leadership, none of the positioning and the spacing that makes him such a tantalizing and spectacular player.
Well, they miss Stoudemire and Kurt Thomas certainly down low with the rebounding as Odom hits the first free throw.
But they haven't had him all year. So this is the team who they are. This is the guy who had a very solid season. Got himself in first-class physical condition. Kurt Thomas did.
Odom struggling from the line. Ball knocked out of bounds, and it's Phoenix ball.
Jeffrey with some good quick hands over there. Able to keep the ball in play. Who? Jeffrey.
Another one of your friends here at courtside?
This is not my first Lakers game.
I know, you've been here for 35 years. Nash, Nash hits a 3. And Steve Nash with 12 points in the period. And the Phoenix Suns right now have equaled their largest lead. Odom wide open. He knocks down a 3.
Penetration and dish. 10 days ago, that would have been a jacked-up shot with 4 defenders hanging all over Kobe.
4 of the 5 starters for the Lakers in double figures. Who's the lone one who's not?
Kobe Bryant. Go figure.
Barbosa for 3. And he just can't get on track. Barbosa now 1 for 4 from the field.
Lamar Odom is sucking wind right now.
He's playing great basketball.
Without question, but he's tired, and Phoenix should capitalize on that and attack him. What a pass.
Kwame Brown fouled. As Bryant with the perfect setup. Bill, you look at what Kobe Bryant did this year when he had one of the greatest scoring seasons in NBA history. He had the 81-point game against Toronto. He did so much in terms of scoring the basketball, and the Lakers improved. But here in the playoffs, he has completely turned it around and really looking to distribute first.
I'm stunned. I watch every Laker game. And nobody would ever think that this would be the case coming out after this year that he had.
Right now, let's go to John Saunders for a 30-30 break.
Mike, thanks a lot. And the only news and the big news is Mario Williams of NC State, defensive end, is going to be tomorrow's #1 draft pick by the Houston Texans. They have already come to terms on a contract, which means Reggie Bush will be 2, 3, 4, or who knows where. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Kwame Brown, 13 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 block shots.
And look at the way he comes out and guards Steve Nash on the perimeter here.
Diaw being guarded by Parker. Oh, nice move. Taking advantage of the smaller Parker.
That's the best play in this series for Boris Diaw. If they can continue to exploit opportunities like that.
Diaw's had a better game. 12 points, 3 assists. Brian gets some ooze. Devin George, a 3. And Kwame Brown just knocked down one of the Suns, and it's going to go the other way as Kwame Brown levels Raja Bell. They're going to count the basket, then the foul.
The shot is released before the foul. Kwame Brown coming from the top of the key, getting into it with
Raja Bell.
Raja Bell throws him to the ground.
4 fouls on Kwame Brown.
Like on Boris Diaw, though, sure, the numbers are decent, but he's not a numbers player.
But he's been more involved today than the first couple of games.
Saddled with foul trouble in game 2, as was Tim Thomas. Kwame Brown will sit one down. He gets a roar of applause. Lakers tonight. Smush Parker, the leading scorer. Luke Walton, the second leading scorer. And the 2 leading shot takers. If you're Mike D'Antoni, you say, we'll live with that.
Of course, Kobe Bryant had some very big games this year against Phoenix. He had a 51-point game. Also hit plus 40 against the Phoenix Suns. But they hadn't been successful against the Phoenix Suns since Steve Nash arrived in Phoenix. And they've certainly adjusted. And he said before game 1, Bill, he was going to stick to the game plan that Phil Jackson had. And he certainly has. And his teammates, though, the key is his teammates have responded.
But the problem with that statement by Kobe is that it's not as if Phil Jackson says, okay, Kobe, in the regular season, we want you to just lead the league in scoring, shoot 35, score 35 points a game, shoot every time you touch it. But he shoot with 4 guys on you, and then the playoffs play totally different. I don't buy it.
No, but as the season went on, he felt that Bryant more and more let his teammates get involved. Early, he felt that he had to score big for them to win. That time tried to force it in a turnover.
You're going to have turnovers. You're not just part of the game. I mean, Steve Nash, Magic Johnson.
It's only their 7th turnover as Barbosa travels. That's the 9th Phoenix turnover.
How about Kobe's defense? How about his rebounding? How about his leadership, the intangibles that he's brought?
It's only their first turnover in the 3rd quarter, however.
And I guarantee you that he's not tired.
Foul is going to go against James Jones. Both teams in the penalty. So free throws again for the Lakers. Our NBA calendar coming up Saturday on TNT. Nets trying to even things up with the Pacers. Memphis trying to get in the win column. That's all tomorrow on TNT. Sunday on ABC. The Bulls will try and even things up with the Heat, followed by game 4 of this series here from Los Angeles. Coverage beginning at 12:30 Eastern. And then Monday on NBA TV, it's the Pistons trying to win their 3rd straight against the Bucks. Coverage beginning at 8:30. Ryan Cook with 4 points off the bench.
With the playoff inexperience and big game lack of opportunities that few of these players have ever been involved in, they're going to learn over the next 10 days the mental pressure of playoff basketball. And how demanding it is and how wearing it is on the offensive foul. Boris Diaw. Smush Parker, huge impact tonight on both ends of the court.
Parker playing in his first playoff series has played well.
They're switching this every time. Easy play to call. Smush Parker, not a flopper, just gets right in there. Lakers playing so much as a team right now. So difficult to switch that, though, with Steve Nash.
So, Bill, all 3 players in the starting front court for Phoenix. Diaw, Tim Thomas, and Marion, all with 4 fouls.
So attack the hoop, not the strength of Phoenix's game to begin with.
Bryant deflected by Nash. And it's still Laker ball. 7 on the shot clock. 11.7 left in the period.
Across the board, the front court players for Mike D'Antoni. He's not using much of his bench. James Jones and Eddie House have been pretty much ignored as he thought he would do.
Parker blocked by Diaw. Still plenty of time to get off a good shot. Nash. Raja Bell stripped by Bryant. Bell upset. He thought he was fouled.
That is great defense. Kobe Bryant, the Laker transition game. Both ends of the court superb tonight.
Kobe Bryant, he's fired up, and he only has 8 points. He's played a strong all-around game. Knocks it away from Raja Bell. It's been a close game throughout. Largest lead by either team, only 8. And as we head to the 4th quarter of the all-important game 3, it's the Lakers with a 3-point advantage.
championship ring, one of 9 that Phil has. Wears it on his pinky finger. The Lakers have home court, a +6 bench point advantage.
And this is our stat trap presented by Nestle's Crunch. Look at the fast break points. Suns have been able to run a little bit more than they did in game 2. Nice fake from Walton. Nice adjustment. Can't finish. Cook the offensive rebound. And Banks in the follow.
Second chance points. Lakers +10 on the night. They're dominating the backboards, +9. And a fresh Kobe Bryant, who has not had to take too many shots tonight. Just 10 attempts.
Shawn Marion. There's the quick move from Shawn Marion. Marion just 5 of 13, now with 14 points.
A very tough matchup for Los Angeles with this lineup that they have out there right now. Without Kwame Brown, without Lamar Odom, Shawn Marion should have his way in the basket area.
Odom, who's been playing big minutes in the series, finally getting a breather. He's played all but 3 minutes here tonight. And Bryant still puts it in.
What patience by Kobe Bryant. The ability to get the shot that he wants at the location where he wants it.
And now all 5 starters in double figures for the Lakers.
How is that not a traveling violation?
Very close. Lakers certainly thought it was. Raja Bell can't connect.
Brian Cook making a solid contribution off the bench, the former starter.
During the regular season, all 5 starters scored in double figures just 3 times in 82 games. They've already done it twice here in this series. Devin George and Cook the offensive board.
Bring it back out. Slide Kobe into the low block. Get him the ball. He's been getting you the ball all night long.
Nice pass again. Cook. Can't get it to go, and Cook again. Mike D'Antoni's upset that Cook's touching the ball after it goes through, stopping the Phoenix fast break. It's a smart play by the Lakers. You're not supposed to touch it once it gets through the net. And D'Antoni letting Tim Donaghy knows what he thought about that.
Should be a delay of game, and Mike D'Antoni will be happy. Oh, that's
offensive foul.
That is a hard collision. D'Antoni beside himself. Down the lane, the pinball wizard here. Sasha stabbing. I don't see that as an offensive foul, but the referees obviously had a better angle.
This is what Mike D'Antoni is upset with right now. Watch after the ball goes through.
That's a delay of game.
That should be a delay of game.
Without question.
Kobe Bryant coming off just a brilliant individual scoring season. In fact, the 8th highest scoring points per game in NBA history. Of course, Will had the first 4 of them, and also the 6th, Michael Jordan, Rick Barry. And Bryant was just brilliant at times scoring the basketball. But here in this playoff series, Bill, he still hasn't hit the 30-point mark. And the Lakers with a very good chance of going up 2-1 in the series. Talk about a great example of the importance of sharing the basketball.
I was convinced that Kobe was going to break Michael Jordan's 63-point record in this series. But the Lakers tonight, Smush Parker and Luke Walton taking 31 shots between them. Kwame Brown and Lamar Odom have been dominant. Kobe only 11 shots with 4 makes. Who would have ever thought?
The rest of the Lakers, they're just more active. They're more into the game now that they're getting the ball and very much a part of the offense. Bryant, tough shot. And Tim Thomas is fouled. The last thing the Lakers want to do is start committing fouls and put Phoenix at the free throw line.
The
patience is called for it.
The patience that Phil Jackson has, surrounded by Frank Hamlin, Kurt Rambis, Brian Shaw. You got Lamar Odom and Kwame Brown, who are just dominant in the paint, and they're sitting on the bench together right now.
Nash inside, and once again, so good using the left hand.
Steve Nash was hit on the arm that time, surprising, and he's not going to the free throw line.
Nash now 17 points, 7 assists. Walton spinning. Nice shot. Luke Walton having another good game, and there's the delay of game warning. That's what Mike D'Antoni He said that's 3 times. He's looking at Tim Donahue saying they're kicking the ball.
Phoenix should be shooting a free throw on a technical, because the second delay of game is awarded a technical free throw.
7-point game, 8.5 to play. Tim Thomas, hop step. Look at the guys on the court right now for the Lakers with Cook, Vujicic, Devin George, and 2 starters, Walton and Kobe Bryant.
They need to help Kobe. Set a screen, set him up, make it easy for him.
Cook, up and under move. Second effort again won't go, and this time Nash comes away.
2 hands on the rebound, please.
Barbosa, wide open 3, and a big shot for the Phoenix Suns. There's Barbosa with his first 3 of the game. 3rd in the NBA in 3-point percentage. He has been cold in games 2 and 3.
Keep moving the ball if you're Los Angeles. More touches for Kobe Bryant early in the shot clock.
Bryant, good hard drive. And here you see the Lakers sending a guy on Nash right away. Raja Bell, that's a 3. And it's back to a 3-point game.
When you send that guy at him, you better be able to contain, because if Steve gets by you, then it's all Suns.
All Suns starters, all 5 of them in double figures as well. Bad pass from Bryant, and Tim Thomas shaken up on the play, but Bryant comes back to steal it. Thomas is down in the paint.
Attack the hoop. Don't wait for Tim Thomas.
He's limping badly. Vujicic, nice ball fake. And Thomas able to get the rebound. Is he bumped out of bounds? No. The Suns upset. They felt there should have been a foul on Cook as Thomas is hurt. He stayed with the play. He got up, went for the rebound, and just couldn't keep his balance.
Basketball fans can only hope that Tim Thomas is going to be all right. Mike D'Antoni is just at wit's end here. He goes down, Tim Thomas. He's holding his leg.
It looked like he landed awkwardly when he came down at the same time as Sean Marion.
And he comes limping out, trying to get the rebound. It comes fortuitously right to him. He seems to be bumped by Brian Cook, and no call.
Thomas still down with just under 7 to play, a 3-point game.
And with the incredible disparity in rebounds and second chance points favoring the Lakers.
And Bill, they had to call a timeout there, and now they're down to just 1 timeout remaining and a very small lineup. Thomas seems to be okay. He's up walking around on the bench. Perhaps you can see him in the upper right corner.
Attack the hoop if you're the Lakers. There's nobody back there that can block a shot.
Bryant puts it in. 14.7 assists for Kobe Bryant. Brown with his 10th rebound.
So Phil Jackson comes back with size. Mike D'Antoni is going to try to win it the way they always do, with speed and quickness. Will that be successful in this critical must-win game?
Diaw, their tallest player right now. Luke Walton trying to post up Nash. 3 on the shot clock. Odom inside to Brown. And a 24-second violation as we send it to Lisa Salters.
Mike, Tim Thomas, as you saw, tweaked his left knee. And again, as you can see him walking around, he's trying to walk it off right now. And I'm told that he's going to try, if he can, to come back into this game. Mike.
All right, Lisa, Sean Marion felt there was a lot of contact. There was no call.
The Lakers have put themselves in position to win this game, and Kobe Bryant is still so fresh. Everything goes to him on every set play.
Raja Bell staring at Bryant right in the eyes as he was defending them as Bryant comes up short. Bell's done a good job on him. Nash to Marion, and Marion blows the layup. Again, Odom coming in to perhaps alter the shot. Marion 6 of 16 from the field. That's a big play right there.
Come to the ball. Don't leave Kobe out there all by himself. Battle your way through the fatigue.
And Marion knocks it out of Odom's hands.
along the baseline. That ball's blocked from behind by Lamar Odom.
I don't know if did he get a piece, Bill?
Either that or it's an absolutely blown layup.
I think it may have been. Odom steps back.
I thought it was blocked.
Makes his move inside. Lamar Odom with another superb game. 15 points, 15 rebounds.
Punish the diminutive Phoenix Suns, who can't compete in the basket area with this roster.
Nash. Diaw, that's a two-pointer. And Diaw knocks down a big shot. Tim Thomas set to check back in.
On the few occasions tonight that Steve Nash has been able to get by Smush Parker, it's been the magic that we've come to expect from this brilliant offensive unit.
And Bell, a foul. Kobe Bryant nodding his head. So Bryant and Bell. Oh, and a technical foul on Mike D'Antoni. That could be costly when you're down by 5. So D'Antoni with a technical, Bell with the personal foul. That's his 4th. And Kobe Bryant. So Elijah Bell called for that 4th foul.
And in this fiercely contested game, you have to accept that some of the calls are going to go against you.
So Bryant misses the technical free throw.
Up top, the clear out.
Now
Easy play to call there, and the referee.
The technical foul is called on Bell, so there's 2. The reason being, he hit Bryant after the whistle. So they called the original technical on Bell, and then D'Antoni arguing the call. He got hit with 1. Bryant hits 1 of 2 free throws.
When the initial foul is called, the players are required to stop contact to protect the offensive player coming in. Otherwise, you just hammer.
D'Antoni's been hot all night long. Again,
there's the initial foul right there. And then the continuation to come right back down, leading to the technical foul. Phoenix up against it right now, the clock running out. But the rebounds, the paint domination by Los Angeles, and a fresh Kobe Bryant give Los Angeles a huge advantage right now.
The Lakers have gone after the Suns' weakness, pounding it inside, getting the ball inside. Odom falls down. That's not a travel if you fall. Bryant, tough shot, won't go. And Nash tips the rebound, fires it ahead to Marion, all alone down the other end.
Incredible turn of events. Kobe Bryant takes a makeable shot. Steve Nash, the littlest guy in the court, gets the rebound and the outlet to the power forward with a breakaway throwdown.
Nash's 10th assist to go with his 7 rebounds and the 17 points. Odom deflected by Marion. Ahead to Barbosa. And just like that, it's a 2-point game. The Suns with 2 quick fast break opportunities.
Remarkable reversal of fortune. It is the Suns right now who are surging.
And now the crowd gets on its feet to cheer on their Lakers. Bryant, Odom. Top of the backboard's inbounds. Walton right there. Deflected right to him.
Kwame Brown tipping it to Luke Walton.
Again, the key, the ball didn't hit the shot clock. Top of the backboard is inbounds.
Kobe now guarding Steve Nash. Must deny penetration here.
Nash. Barbosa the floater.
Wild runner.
Not a good shot.
That's a Sean Marion shot, not a Leandro Barbosa shot.
Still plenty of time remaining with 2.5 to play.
Raja Bell playing great defense.
Parker passed up the open 3. Walton, nice feed to Parker, and he gets the bounce. 6-point game.
Smush Parker dominating defensive performance.
Nash in and out. That one halfway down. And a loose ball foul is going to go against the Lakers.
The right call. Eddie F. Rush, Luke Walton banging the Phoenix Suns on the rebound play.
I don't know. The two of them going for it. Bill Jackson didn't like it. I don't know about that call, Bill.
The long rebound. Raja Bell is right there.
Well, they're both going for the ball. It didn't seem like anyone had a clear path there. They're not in the penalty yet.
I think timeout's a big issue. The fact that Phoenix only has one left, and they've got to save that for the end of the game.
Diaw. Sean Marion, nice fake. There's his floater. And it's back to a 4-point game.
Deny penetration. Keep your feet. Make your opponent convert on an extremely difficult shot attempt.
Under 2 minutes remaining in game 3. Bryant with 6 on the shot clock. Kobe Bryant kicks it out. And a whistle and a foul on the pass. That won't count. Suns not in the penalty. In fact, it's only their second team foul. First in the last 2 minutes.
Phil Jackson is saying, get the ball inside. What is this perimeter game you're trying to play out there?
Next foul will put them at the free throw line.
Who's in shape? Who's got the mental clarity at the end of the game to make the right decision?
It's 5 fouls, by the way, on Marion. Kobe Bryant wants the ball. Puts it up. Won't go. And rebound. Diaw almost lost it. Here comes Nash.
Numbers for Phoenix.
Marion for 3. Won't go. And Walton with a big rebound. His 9th of the game.
Lakers dodged a bullet there. Kwame Brown ill-advisedly tried for a steal. The crowd rises as one.
A minute remaining. Shot clock at 6. Bryant forces it up. Walton's tip won't go. Ball knocked out of bounds. It should be Laker ball. It is. With 44.5 remaining.
Bill Jackson said, let's talk this one over. The Lakers have managed their timeouts better. They still have 1 and a 20. The Suns only a full timeout.
A moment to catch your breath. The Lakers on the verge of taking a 2-1 lead in the series, but it's not over yet. The Cavs won by a point. The Kings win by a point. Right now, the Lakers with the ball up by 4. A Laker team that missed the playoffs last year. Kobe Bryant, the first time he's missed the playoffs in his NBA career. And he has played terrific team basketball here in this series.
The scenario, all the numbers face the Lakers.
Lakers wisely taking time off the clock. Parker. Bryant. Knocked away and a reach-in foul. And Bryant will shoot free throws with 22.1 remaining.
The use of the clock. They took 22 seconds to get a foul. So the worst possible turn of events for the Phoenix Suns.
Again, the way Kobe Bryant has changed his game here in this series. The great year scoring throughout the regular season and now getting all his teammates involved, and it's made the Lakers a better team.
And while he is one of the most superbly conditioned athletes in the world in any sport, with the way they're playing now, he's going to be that much better at the end of games.
Who would have thought that Kobe Bryant wouldn't reach the 30-point mark in any of the first 3 games, and the Lakers would have a 2-1 edge. If he hits this, it makes it a 2-possession game, a 6-point lead. So the Suns still have a chance, but they're going to need some kind of finish. They need to go for 3s.
They only have 1 timeout, and they have to save that for a desperation at the end.
Nash inside to Marion, knocked away and stolen. And a foul called. And the Laker fans starting to celebrate as Sean Marion is fouled out. So Marion fouls out with 20 points, 7 rebounds, 8 of 19 from the field.
And the incredible sense of happiness and the turn of events. In the previous timeout, Rick Fox, the world champion, the 3-time world champion for the Lakers, was leading this Laker throng of loyalists to incredible roar of support.
Mike D'Antoni and Steve Nash having a laugh at this point. They know it's not over yet. They're a very loose team. They're a team that gets along so well. And they'll bounce right back for Sunday's game 4.
But they're up against it, Mike. This Laker team is surging. Tim Thomas, how will that knee hold up? Will Sean Marion be able to shoulder the entire burden up front by himself?
George misses. This is a big one here. Would give him a 7-point lead and make it a 3-possession game.
This is going to take a miracle finish for Phoenix to have a chance.
And Phoenix will use its final timeout. 11.5 seconds remaining.
Jacket.
And you see the balanced scoring. Kobe Bryant had the 7 assists, but he let the others do the scoring as well. Again, second time in this series that all 5 starters have scored in double figures. It only happened 3 times during the entire regular season. Last time Kobe Bryant wasn't the leading scorer was way back on February 7th. Diaw nearly falls down. Ball last touched by Walton. And with 6.3 remaining, Phoenix will inbound.
Mike D'Antoni and Steve Nash have their work cut out for them to rebuild the confidence that has ebbed with this fine Suns squad.
James Jones won't go, and the Lakers take a 2-1 lead in this best-of-7 series with their second straight impressive win over the second-seeded Phoenix Suns.
And it's Kobe Bryant leading the high five. Smush Parker, what a fine job.
We talk so much the Suns are the team with the great chemistry and the camaraderie, but right now the Lakers showing much of the same as we send it over to Lisa Salters.
Kobe, how were you guys able to get this win while you scored only 17 points?
We're playing great team basketball. We're just playing great together. I mean, we're just, we're moving the ball. We're playing with a lot of chemistry. We're just playing together.
Now, they were running the ball like they wanted to, but not getting any results. How are you guys able to frustrate them?
Well, we do a good job offensively and taking good shots. The times that we didn't take good shots to turn the ball over, they got great runouts. And then for the most part, we do a good job getting back and squaring guys up.
Physical game. Luke Walton, hard foul on Tim Thomas early on, and then later on, Kwame Brown on Boris Diaw. What happened on that play between Boris and Kwame?
Oh, it's just basketball. It's just basketball. It's playoff basketball, a lot of intensity, a lot of emotions, and it's just what the game is about. You're not out there trying to hurt anybody, but you're still trying to play physical.
You pulled everyone together after that play. What did you say to them?
I just wanted to make sure everybody centered themselves and remain calm and poised. We sent the message. We did what we had to do as far as playing physical or whatever, but now it's time to settle back into the game and play our style of basketball.
Right about now, how would you say these two teams feel about each other?
Well, I mean, it's such a long series. We just try to take it a game at a time. We feel like we're playing pretty well together.